We will call to order the regular board meeting of the Board of Election Commissioners for the City of Chicago. Good morning. My name is Marisel Hernandez. I'm the chair. Seated to my left is Commissioner Jonathan Swain, and to my right is Commissioner William Kresse. Next on the agenda is consideration of the agenda. Any proposed changes? If not, we'll proceed with the approval of the regular board meeting minutes of March 26, 2019. All those in favor?
Aye. Take a motion first.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes and the minutes are approved. Next are the special board meeting minutes of April 2nd, 2019. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And lastly, the regular board meeting minutes of April 9, 2019. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. The next is the Executive Director's report. Mr. Goff.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sunday, there was at the Thompson Center, the League of Women Voters had a celebration of the centuries of the passage of the 19th Amendment. And I met with Jim Allen, and we would like to include that in a lot of our materials that we're going to send out in the next, starting for voter registration for the 2020 election. So I just wanted to let the board members know this is something that we are starting to work on. I appreciate from Jim. We had a meeting and we put together a plan, and I think we'll be going full speed ahead on that. So I just want to let the board members know.
That's a great idea.
Second item, the staff has been working on the contingency plan that we have. We've had meetings almost every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for the last couple of weeks, and we have a couple of more. And it's really coming together. Once you see the finished product, you'll be really proud of this agency. I just wanted to let the board know. Another item that I have is, we talked about, Charles got the quote on carpeting. The carpeting is not as expensive as the $25,000 that we had up front, and Charles informed me the reason why, that the building here is using, instead of laying whole roll carpeting, you're using carpet squares, which is a lot more efficient. So I just want to let the board members know we'll be working on that right away after you hopefully get the office in shape. Two other items that I want.
This is only for the repair, correct?
The repair areas.
Areas, right.
Yeah,
That's what
take
we
care
talked
of
about
the whole
last
area.
week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care of the whole area.
Great.
So that's moving along. The other items are, hopefully will be meeting with the different voting machine manufacturers to talk about what we need for this upcoming 2020 election. We're going to have it in place for 2020, hopefully. And we went over what's needed in this agency, and it's going to be one contract. So Charles and I met, and we basically have an outline done. Hopefully I'll start meeting with them soon. So I wanted the board members to know that, so we can get a best and final offer. The other item is that we've been talking about, I'm getting ahead of myself right now, so that's all I have for right now. I have some written documents that I'm going to send the board members. I hope to get them to you today.
Okay. Charles?
Morning, Madam Chair and fellow commissioners. We continue working with the staff, and we're working with districts and boundaries, still trying to eliminate precincts. At the present, we have eliminated 513 precincts. At the end of the week, we'll be sending out the draft maps with the current map and the letters to the aldermen's committeemen, getting their input and scheduling meetings with them. We're at 513 now. It looked, maybe once we're done with our meetings, we may be back down to maybe about 425 or 450.
But is 513 the maximum now that we, or is there a possibility that we would be looking at other precincts?
No, I doubt it. I think the kind of feedback we're gonna receive is that they're gonna want to go back up on numbers. Yes, some of the precinct numbers are high, but with the surgence of vote by mail and early voting, those numbers are going down. We base it upon the last 6 elections of the in-precinct voting on election day. And what we did was, where we had combination precincts voting in the same place and then neighboring precincts, we just made it one precinct.
Right.
That's what we did. So,
Are you evaluating distance from homes to that precinct, that polling place?
well, it wouldn't be any further than this already is, because the two polling places already, two precincts are already meeting in that one polling place right now.
Oh, so you're saying when you have two precincts in the same polling place, you're combining those two precincts into one?
Yes.
So you're not moving a precinct
No, we're
into
not.
that? Okay, got it. All right.
So we're not drawing any new lines, we're just consolidating existing precincts for the most part?
Yes, we're breaking a precinct line, combining two, what we call a global, where we don't have to redraw any lines. And when it comes down to doing the geocoding, it's much faster and simpler than we have to break streets and things like that.
Excellent.
And just to let you know, when we do, anytime you start doing changes in maps, there's a problem. We've had people that have been moved out, so we're being very careful to make sure, especially for this 2020 election. And the sooner we get it done, then we can send out notice to all the voters, here's your new precinct as
Yeah,
well,
that was my question.
polling places. So we're getting all this done ahead of time before we do a mass mailing.
What's our target for mail? To the date?
We have to do it, August 1st is what we're looking at.
Okay.
But we have to do it 90 days prior to the date of the election, have it completed.
Got it. Okay.
Also, as mentioned at our last meeting, we were interviewing candidates for our procurement agent position. So myself and the committee, we have forwarded our recommendation to Mr. Goff.
And I've sent that on to the board.
As Lance spoke, I'm participating in the contingency meetings with Jim Allen and the managers. And we're meeting with ES&S about putting a Form 21AD on the e-poll book for the election coordinators on election day. Instead of having to fill out a lot of paper, they can fill out this form on the e-poll book.
Okay. Anything else? Any questions?
Yes, on the consolidation, I assume that this would lead to a cost savings because we'll be possibly reducing the number of judges. Do we have any estimate on what kind of cost savings? If
Not at the time.
Okay, if you could,
We can
get that to us, I would appreciate it.
evaluate that and maybe by the next meeting have it.
Right.
Well, it all really, that would be an approximate on the high side because, as you said, the number of precincts, those that you propose to eliminate, not all of them will be
Yeah,
eliminated.
after we meet with the alderman and committeemen, we will have our true number.
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly,
Yeah.
okay.
And just remember, we're combining precincts. We're not eliminating one set of judges.
Right.
Because we'll be adding additional judges to help with the increase.
You would have full sets of judges though, and not just precinct trying to run with like 3.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Allen?
Good morning. Most of my items were covered in Mr. Goff's report. Like you mentioned, we had 9 meetings last week on the contingency plan elements. We had 1 this morning, and we've got 7, 8 more this week, and a few more the following week. So hopefully by the end of the month, we'll have it in pretty near complete form.
Wonderful, thank you. Next, we'll proceed with old business, infrastructure projects and changes in election administration and voting equipment. I think we just addressed that. Electronic poll books, anything there? Judd, good morning.
Good morning.
Anything going on?
Do I get to try the new microphone?
Yeah.
I guess I would just comment, as Charles mentioned, we've been working with staff on putting the Department of Justice form onto the electronic poll book with the idea being that once that's incorporated into the poll worker check-in module, that will encourage the poll workers to complete that as it's part of their check-in, and hopefully get that done in the early part of the morning and have it signed off, and then should help the board in returning those forms to the Department of Justice. So seems like a good project.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have anything on legislation?
Well, there's a few bills that have passed. I would like to
Move it close to you.
There are a few bills that have passed, nothing incredibly noteworthy, though our jail voting bill has passed. Both houses has not yet been signed by the governor. For all election authorities, it would require them to coordinate with their county jail on a vote-by-mail program. In Cook County, or any other county with more than 3 million people, we would establish a temporary branch polling place at the Cook County Jail. So that's one signature away from becoming law, which presumably would start then for the March primary in 2020. There was an omnibus election bill that was introduced very late in the session. It's had some amendments tacked onto it, and they have passed a motion to extend the final action deadline to June 30th. So that one is still pending, but there is a possibility that it will pass this month. So then there's two more bills that passed. One is regarding Open Meetings Act training, allows the requirements for that can be fulfilled by a private organization if that private organization meets the requirements that are set forth in the Illinois Municipal Code. And then another bill that has passed both houses, House Bill 2124, also amends the Open Meetings Act. This would allow us to have an executive session, closed session, to discuss the performance of independent contractors, volunteers. Currently, only employees can be discussed in executive session. This broadens that substantially.
Okay.
We'll keep our eyes on that when the governor signs it.
Okay, thank you. We'll proceed with new business. The first item is a proposed amendment to the bylaws of the board to allow the assistant executive director to sign and execute contracts, checks, and other instruments in the absence of the, or at the direction of the executive director.
This is a request that did come from Mr. Goff and Mr. Holliday, just to make life a little easier for the two of them. We would be taking authority that's expressly granted to the board in the bylaws on signing financial documents, contracts, other instruments. That authority has already been expressly delegated to the executive director, and we're just requesting that in his absence or in his direction, the assistant could also take that power. And also I'll point out that Article 5 of the bylaws does expressly allow the board to amend them.
Okay. Are there any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve the amendment to the Board of Elections bylaws?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes and the bylaws are amended. Next is the attorney-contractor agreement between the board and Mr. Lasker as general counsel. And the agreement is exactly the same as the agreement from last year. The only change are the dates, and it's a one-year agreement.
That is correct. The Illinois Election Code authorizes the board to hire an attorney. I have discovered that every once in a while there's a need for one. It's been my pleasure to serve the board, and I would love to do it for another year.
Okay, well, on those rare occasions when we need you, we will call out to you. Are there any questions?
I would also point out, by the way, sorry to interrupt, the bylaws also do make the position of general counsel as an officer of the board. And so I would also separately request that you appoint me back to that position.
Okay. If there are no further questions or comments, is there a motion to appoint Adam Lasker as general counsel to the board and to approve the attorney-contractor agreement with the Board of Election Commissioners. As I said, the exact same agreement as last, for this past year. The only change has been the dates, and it's a one-year term. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next item is a certain professional services agreement between the Board of Election Commissioners and 6 individuals.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
could we refer this to the next meeting?
sure.
There are some items that need to be added to this that
Okay.
have not been done yet, so I'd like to, if we could do it for the next meeting.
Mhm. Is there?
So moved.
Fine?
Second.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
No objection.
And next is a legal report. Mr. Lasker?
Okay, thank you. So, even though it's the slow season, there's a lot of catch-up to do, and also ongoing projects that we haven't had time to get to in the busy election cycle. So I am working with several of the different groups on memorializing and writing our contingency plans, which also, as far as the legal department is concerned, sample documents, template documents to be used for emergency situations anytime we have to run and get emergency relief support. I do, again, just want to tip my hat to Jim Scanlon, my predecessor here, for having left behind a very good database that gives me a foundation to build from rather than start from scratch. So I'm happy about that. Getting started with prepping our 2020 election calendar, pamphlet information for the March primary and the general presidential election in November. I'd like to report to you that there was a 7th Circuit decision last week from the Court of Appeals on the Acevedo lawsuit. That's where some countywide candidates from 2016 in the primary were challenging the signature requirement. The Northern District Court ruled against them, and now the 7th Circuit has affirmed that decision. So the signature, county-wide signature requirement in Cook County will remain at 0.5% ballots cast in the last election.
Any indication they take it up higher?
I find it extremely unlikely that the U.S. Supreme Court will take this case because, as the 7th Circuit has pointed out, the federal court system has, across the country and in Illinois, the federal court system has upheld signature requirements much higher than 0.5%. So I haven't heard from opposing counsel as to whether they were planning to, but I do not expect this to be. Speaking of litigation, our brief is due soon in the appellate court for the citywide mayoral term limit referendum case, which is still out there and pending. Working on catching up on meeting minutes. The 5th Ward election contest from the April election is still pending. The motion to dismiss has been filed by Alderman Hairston's side of the litigation. It's in the process of being briefed with an argument date, I believe, is set for July 12th. So we've received several calls from the public, and I'll just remind everyone that we did proclaim the official election results with Ms. Hairston as the winner, and that will not change. She has been sworn into her new term. That will not change unless the court orders something in the election contest, and we don't see any reason for that. And finally, I'm working with Sisavon, I believe it's Sisavon Baker, is the new general counsel in the Cook County Clerk's Office. We are going to be working together on a chapter from Illinois Municipal League publication, a chapter of information about election authorities and how we run elections. There are several other election attorneys that this board is familiar with who are drafting other areas of the book, but when it comes to actual election administration, she and I are working together on that. And so I'm just pleased that we missed Dan Madden, who was in that position with the county clerk's office for a long time, but very pleased to have competent counsel down there. And that's about it.
Great, thank you.
Quick question, any word on CLE requirements for judges?
No word on that yet, but it's in the works. And I've been talking with some attorney groups about it. We think that their people would jump at the opportunity. It gives them the extra incentive they need to be able to take a day off to work to do
Exactly. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next is a financial report. We have a balance sheet and voucher listing for the City of Chicago, a 2019 appropriation number 19-02 dated June 11, 2019, in the amount of $9,110,496.85. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have public comment. I don't think we've received any requests for public comment today. So we will now, is there a need for executive session?
My understanding is we'll have an executive session to discuss employment matters, as that is permitted.
Okay. Is there a motion to proceed into executive session to discuss certain personnel matters?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we will now be in executive session. We will not take any action in executive session. If there's any action that needs to be taken, we'll come back out in open session and do so. But for now, we are in executive session. Thank you. We are now back in open session. The commissioners, the board took no action in executive session. And if there is no further business, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn until June 25th, 2019 at 9:30 a.m. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you.